Hi, I am Ben Alexander, and I have autism. Today, I am going to cover a topic that is very popular. But first, could you do me a real favor fast? Could you please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, and turn on your YouTube notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So in today's topic, we're going to talk about whether you should date or to not date as an autistic person. And it's a very simple, it's your choice type of thing. I know there's people that force you to date or force you to not. I mean, really, it's up to you. If you want to date, that's good. If you don't want to date, that's good as well. Like, it honestly, in my opinion, doesn't really matter. As long as you are happy and content with your decision, that's all that really matters. And I am single. I've never dated anybody in my life. And I really don't have a desire to do it. You know, it's a topic that when it gets brought up, it's one of those things that I'm like, you know, it's great if you do it. Again, it's not a bad thing. Dating isn't bad, nor is non-dating. But I really don't have an interest in dating. One, I don't have whole lot of money. Two, right now I don't know what my career is going to look like. Three, I like independence and be able to set my own routines in my house. And fourth, dating can be very risky. Your heart can get broken very easily. Those type of things I've said, you know, I with those four factors, I'm like, that's just not for me. But again, this video isn't all about me. It's about you guys and what you're thinking, whether you should date or not. And I have 4 factors for you to consider whether you should date or to not date. So the first situation is your finances. And you really want to make sure you can afford a date, obviously. And I really can't because I've got upcoming expenses that I'm coming up with and trying to save for a house, probably like a tiny house or something. So I can move out of my parents' house so that they can have the space in their house that they can do whatever they want with. But right now they've allowed me to stay there for pretty much for free, though I'm having to pay insurance and all that stuff. There's still things that I have to pay on my own, but for the most part, they're trying to help me save money so that I can eventually move out and have a place that's, well, my home, not my parents' home. But again, my parents have done a great job of helping me out and making sure that I eventually will get to the stage of my career that I have enough money and I can move out. Because, yeah, they don't charge me rent, so that's a very nice thing. And the second thing is, well, first, I just forgot to say, it's like, you know, if you aren't in a situation where your parents might have kicked you out or they might charge you rent, you know, I just want to be sensitive to those people. I don't want to come across as, oh, I have an awesome relationship. And I mean, it's like everything else. We all have, we do have an awesome relationship, but not like perfect. That's what I mean to say is me and my parents, I mean, we get along. We both support each other whenever we need to. So that's great. And I love my parents. So, but yeah, like if your parents weren't very good or what have you not, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry. And I want to make sure that's crystal clear because I don't want you to click off this video because you think I'm being insensitive. And Trust me, I am not trying to be insensitive whatsoever. I'm trying to care about you. And okay, now this time for the second part. Are you in a career you can see yourself enjoying? And honestly, if you're in a job you absolutely hate and want to get out of, I do not think dating's a good idea, because one, you're probably not going to get a second date, and it's just going to lead you to heartbreak. And that's kind of my advice that I would give to you. But again, you could do whatever you want. You're your own human being. And yeah, and you should use your judgment. And again, not my call, but your call. But I just don't want to see anybody's heart get broken. That's my intent too. And the third tip, does your partner value you and your autism? And this has to be a non-negotiable. If they do not value you, run. And that is really the advice I'd give to anyone. If you are autistic and they don't take your autism seriously, or just don't understand autism, even though you've tried explaining it to them, I would just leave the relationship. And again, always try to be professional and try to do this the right way, even though it could be hard. But in the long run, if you do things professionally, I think you'll be fine. And the fourth thing, do you and your goals and interests match? And I mean, it's important to make sure you have the same goals and interests. Now, the interests can be a little bit different. For example, like one person may like sports and one person may not. I'm just thinking of something because I love sports, and I've seen people that have different interests still work out. Now, again, this doesn't mean that big issues like religion and topics. Now, I think you have to basically. Now, again, I guess people can work things out however they want, but I feel like if you have the same the big picture type of things are the same, like religion, politics, career goals, whether you want a family or not, those type of things have to be very similar. Very, very, very similar. Because if you and also, can you live together? Can you see yourself living with that person? Can you see yourself enjoying that? Those are things you have to consider, because if you don't see yourself living with somebody, then what's the point of doing this relationship? Like, what's the point of getting married, right? And your interest, I mean, you want to make sure somebody's going towards greatness. And if they're not going towards greatness and they're trying to drag you down into their negativity, then I would say don't do that, obviously. So, yeah, it's just you have to judge your situation. And sometimes you're going to have to get somebody else involved. And you're like, okay, how do you see this person? I see this person this way. And the friend might be like, yeah, I don't know if this is the great fit. It's also important that you make sure that you have friends that help you out as well, if you're into this. But again, I've never had a romantic relationship. I don't know exactly, but I know that I've been around people who wanted to date, and yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. I was at college, it was a lot of flirting, and I guess it's one of those things where it's just, and I was at a public high school, like, it happens. Like, I picked it up without even having a relationship, like, and just talking to people too, because they always talk about their romantic relationships, and yeah, so I hope that makes sense, that I'm looking at dating as a single person instead of as a person that has dated before and all that stuff. So I just wanted to bring this topic for you guys, because you guys are asking these questions. I know I was looking for topics that I could talk about for this channel, and this is easily one of the top 5, at least, topics that people have in their mind. So I definitely had to make a video on this. So yeah. And another thing is, and just a reminder that I am single, and I've realized that no romantic relationship is better than a toxic relationship. That's why I don't want to date, because I don't even want the thought of a toxic relationship, because some people put their nice face on so that they can later become toxic and all that stuff. And I don't know. I worry about myself because I'm very gullible about that. And like I told you earlier, I'm fine. Like, I have career goals. I'm still trying to build my career up a little bit. So I'm okay not dating, and I'm okay with not dating for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want you to feel, oh, Ben's not dating, he's sad and lonely. No, I'm okay. I have friends and family. It will be okay. I'm not worried about it. And I got people in my life that mean a lot to me, so I'm not going to be lonely. I'm not going to be sad. It's okay. But again, everybody can choose their things, like, especially about sad and lonely. What happens if you want to date somebody, you can't find somebody? I've seen a bunch of this stuff on Instagram, because it seems like I get ads for dating apps all the time. Those may work. I've seen people have success. I've been to weddings where people have met on Bumble, and that worked out. I know I've been in a couple weddings for my college. A lot of people met at college and got married during or after college, so that's happened too. And again, if you do online dating, avoid sketchy people. I wouldn't want anybody to get hurt by that. And ask your friends and family if they know somebody that's looking for a romantic relationship. There's lots of things: meet and greets, single groups, matchmaking events. I mean, you could probably figure it out. And the internet's a great resource that you could look for. Where are events that I could date? Like, they have so many videos, including this one, that give you dating advice, even though this is, I guess if you want me to, I could continue to dive deeper into this topic, but this was probably, I was planning on this being the only video that I make about dating. Because, again, I'm not, I don't have any romantic relationships. I mean, I could talk about my singleness and why singleness is a good thing, for sure. And that's the next thing, is what happens if you don't want to date. And singleness is a great thing, because as an autistic person like myself, I can really focus on what I want on my life. I can set goals and, have more time to accomplish those set goals. Whatever it is, and building a good routine, and just having all that time that you can do whatever you want. That's pretty nice. Like, you don't have a family. You don't. I mean, yes, you'll have your family and friends and all that stuff that you'll still spend time with them, but other than that, it's not like you're responsible for raising a family or having to care for your significant other. Like, you're not responsible for that. I could focus on my career. I could focus doing more videos. So yeah, there's definitely lots of things I can do, and I'm honestly pretty excited about being single, and being single for the rest of my life, unless something changes, unless God says, I want you to marry somebody. My intention is to remain single. And you could also build a good routine in dating as well. And again, dating is, you could still do it in dating, but again, like I said, it's much easier when you're single, because you have more time. And I even know married people who will tell you that, that you have more time as a single person. I bet you ask a lot of married couples that will say, you know what, I had more time as a single person to focus on XYZ, working out at the gym, or, I don't know, playing video games. I've seen it before too. Yep, and I obviously have friends from college that got married and are much busier, so yeah, I definitely understand it from having friends who are married. So yeah, and here's the thing: everything's cool. Being single has lots of advantages, and I know society's all romanticized, and everybody wants to talk about how horrible singleness is, and I just don't think that's true. I really don't believe that's true, and I wish this would stop, but unfortunately, I really don't think it is. But again, hopefully it proves wrong someday. But again, I'm advocating for choose the path that's best for you. Choose the path that's going to make you happiest. Because the last thing you want to do is be forced into a path that's going to make you not happy. I wouldn't want that for anybody. And again, I am single, and I see the beauty in being single and the beauty of marriage. There's beauty in both ways. And again, like I told you, I don't want to get into a romantic relationship. I'm just trying to focus on my career, and I'm living with my parents and trying to move out into a tiny house so I can have more space in the house, or so they can have more space in their house, and then I can have my space of the house, because I wouldn't say I have a whole lot of stuff, so I definitely am more of a minimalistic person when it comes to stuff. But yeah, anyway, to conclude, I believe dating is a good thing, but it shouldn't be mandatory. Not dating / singleness is a good thing as well. And I believe autistic people should have the choice whether to date, and really shouldn't be forced into a decision. And honestly, that goes for everybody too. So did I miss anything? I know, if you are in a relationship and you are autistic, feel free to put it in the comments. Just tell me more about what's the beauty of being in a relationship. And if you're single, tell me what's the beauty of being single. I'd love to hear your thoughts and concerns and questions, and I'd love to answer them. And I really hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for sticking to the end if you made it this far, and I'll see you in the next video.